Children. So today we are once again together and we will revise or complete the lesson Story of Village Palampur. Before completing or concluding it, we will just revise what we have done in a previous class. Children, in my first lecture, we discussed what is economic activity. In that, we discussed about the factors of production. In factors of production, we discussed about the factors like land, labor, capital, and human capital. Then we discussed about what is green revolution and its positive and negative impact. And lastly, we discussed about the different non-farm activities which are done in Palampur. So today children, we will just once again we will discuss some of the points which are left in this lesson. Children, I had not explained you regarding how the agricultural activities are taking place in Palampur. What are the different means of transportation that is used in Palampur? Before explaining this, I'll ask you that how many of you have visited any villages? And if you visited any villages, any type of village, you would have seen that how the village looks in real sense. You see many means of transportation like tractors, auto rickshaws, tongas, bullock carts, bikes which are moving in villages of India. So Palampur is also this type of village. Initially in Palampur, traditional methods of farming were used, in which cow dung was used in the form of fertilizers. And it is very natural that when cow dung is used, the agriculture production does not take place at a very fast rate. But what happened when electricity was there in Palampur? Palampur village developed at a very fast rate due to electrification. Now, in place of water of wells, tube wells were used over there, and the farms of Palampur were irrigated by the tube wells. First, in the initial stage, in starting, the government installed some of the tube wells, and the people of Palampur, the farmers of Palampur used those tube wells. The result was very good. Agriculture production increased at a very fast rate. And now the farmers started using the private tube wells. And due to this, what happened? Agriculture production increased, and due to electrification, Palampur became a well-developed village. So a question like how Palampur developed due to electricity, or give the reasons for the development of Palampur. This question can come from this part. And you know very well, in villages of India now, due to electricity, they are no less than the towns of our country. Now electricity is present mostly in all the villages of India, and due to this only now villages, they are also developing at a very fast rate. They are also being connected to the different towns. And children, in this lesson, Palampur is connected with a small town named Shahpur. And in Shahpur, all the agricultural products are sold over there. There are three types of farmers living in Palampur: small farmers, medium farmers, and big farmers. Now, children, small farmers are those farmers who do not have the more agricultural land. They have very less agricultural land. Medium farmers are those farmers who have little more agricultural land than small farmers. And big farmers are zamindars who have more acres of land. They have more land. Now, mostly you see in the villages, these small farmers or mostly landless farmers, they work on the land of medium farmers and big farmers. And the small farmers, for this, they get remuneration or payment from the big farmers or zamindars. This remuneration or payment is done either as daily wages, in cash or in kind. Some of the zamindars or some of the big farmers, They pay in cash or they give a percentage of land to them for farming. So this is how the system of farming works in Palampur. And Palampur is children imaginary village. This system continues in all the villages in our country and agriculture production takes place over there. So now these big farmers, the question can come in your exam that how the big farmers or zamindars they arrange for their capital. This big farmers or zamindar, what they do? Whatever is produced in their farms, they sell. They keep some portion for the self-consumption and rest they sell in the market, either in the connected town, in villages, or they sell to the wholesalers. And whatever income they get by selling these agricultural products, they purchase capital from this money. And rest money they keep in the banks. And they also purchase the raw materials, that is seeds and fertilizers, which is required for doing agricultural activities. So these big farmers they arrange for their capitals. Now children, how do these big farmers they arrange the agricultural work? For doing the agricultural activities, you would have seen in the villages that the big farmers they just give direction in their farms. Mostly the landless farmers work and they work as the laborers. As I taught you while teaching factors of production, laborers are of two types, skilled and unskilled. And mostly these laborers who are working in the farms of the big farmers, they are unskilled laborers. And they get money from the big farmers and that is only their source of income. In this chapter, Story of Village Palampur, there is heavy competition for work among the farmers. Because, and these farmers also get very low wages, and due to this, as there is heavy competition, as they are paid, as work is less, what happens? The farmers they work at a very low rate, and that is why there is heavy competition for work in Palampur. So question can also come from this portion that why in Palampur the wages of farm laborers are very low, and the answer will be as there is heavy competition for work, the big farmers they exploit the landless laborers and pay them and hire them at a very less wage rate. So if the question comes in your exam that discuss the agricultural activities in Palampur and or the question comes that what are the means of transportation found in Palampur, you will get the answer from this dot portion. So this part was left. Then a question can also come that why human capital is more important than other capital or why human capital is superior to other capital. The answer will be if other capital are present and if there is no human mind to manage all the things. For example, in your village, suppose your grandfather or father, he is doing farming activity and he becomes sick or he is not actively participating due to some reason. Another, the laborers and agricultural land, fertilizers, everything is there, but nobody is there to manage it. What will happen? Agriculture production will not take place. Nothing will be managed properly. You can take example of industries also. Suppose in industries, laborers are there, machines are there, and nobody is there to manage it. What will happen? That industry will never get profit and it will not run in a proper way because no human mind is applied. So children, please understand that machines can never take place of human beings. So to manage all these things, human beings are also very essential and that human beings are known as human capital. So in our next lesson, that is people as a resource, we will discuss about the human capital and its importance. The whole lesson is based on that. So we have discussed this first portion. Whatever was left, I have explained you. I have also told you the questions. Then the next part is what is green revolution? We have discussed in a previous class also. In this case, in case of green revolution, the question can come define green revolution and discuss its positive and negative impact. I have already explained you what is green revolution. It is the drastic agriculture production, a drastic increase in agriculture production which took place in late 1960s in some states like Haryana, Punjab and Western Uttar Pradesh, and in case of rice, the southern states. And this drastic increase in agricultural production due to use of high yielding variety of seeds, this process is known as green Revolution. And due to Green Revolution, children, now we are self-sufficient in case of food grains. We don't have to import food grains from any foreign country. Everything is produced in a country. This is only due to the efforts done at that time, and this is due to Green Revolution. But each and everything has positive and negative impact. In our country, due to Green Revolution, agriculture production increased, we became self-sufficient, but people of our country, what they do? They overuse everything. Due to Green Revolution, the farmers of different states, mostly the zamindars, they started the use of agriculture, they started the use of fertilizers at a very fast rate. And due to this what happened? The fertility of the soil started deteriorating or decreasing. Due to use of hiding variety, due to use of insecticides, pesticides and fertilizers, we are not getting the good quality of vegetables and fruits in our country. The water level is reducing due to use of fertilizers. So these are some of the negative impact of Green Revolution. We have already discussed in a previous class. And lastly, we discussed about the non-farming activities. Children, all of you know very well that farming is not done for the whole year. It is not a full-time job. So mostly the people living in villages, along with farming, they are involved in various other activities. For example, they open various shops for groceries and other items. They are involved in transportation. They are involved in dairy business. They are involved in many other business which is other than farming, and which leads to increase in income of the people living in the villages. So these are the various non-farm activities. After the completion of this lecture, I will give you the list of different non-farm activities which is done in Palampur that you have to note down. So this is the end of the lesson, and I have once again revised and explained you different topics and which questions can be asked from different topics. Now children, all of you please take out your copies if you are having in hand, and if you are having your books also. I will give you certain questions which you have to write in your copy. Question number 1 is, what are the different factors of production, and discuss them. Second, differentiate between fixed capital and working capital. Next, what is Green Revolution and what are its positive and negative impact? Then next, how do the big farmers arrange for their capital? And the last question is, mention and discuss the different non-farm activities which are done in Palampur. All these questions which I have given you and the other textual questions you have to write in your copy. And if you have any doubt, please ask me after this lecture. So thank you children. In my next class, we will start with the second lesson, that is people as a resource. Please read it and then we will start the discussion. Thank you.